Fucking A. It's been a minute, bro.
It's been too long. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Infamous Idiots podcast. We've been MIA for a while, but you know, shit's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's no one's fault. Life happens. Your boy got pneumonia and he was recovering.
Yeah, I told him about that.
It was fucking awful. I thought I pulled a back muscle for some odd reason after a workout, but I'm never one to exert myself too much. Plus, I don't lift weights. So I'm like, how did I hurt my back? Turns out I had pneumonia. I had to go to the ER twice within 5 days for them to be like, okay, no, this is actually what's wrong with you. So that's fucking great. Prolonged my recovery. It just made it worse. Still felt the after effects a couple weeks after, just normal. But yeah, I don't wish pneumonia on my worst enemy. That shit was fucking awful. Plus, I couldn't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's
What
weird being
was
sober.
like the day to what was like the day to day? Because pneumonia just sounds like something. Like
Have
back
you
in the
never had
day-
pneumonia?
No, I never had. Like back in the day,
Oh,
that just
you
sounds
just
like
died.
something. Yeah,
You
exactly.
just died
Back in
from
the day, you just
pneumonia,
died from
dude.
Pneumonia.
Yeah. So you basically take antibiotics, or maybe like 2 versions of them per prescribed days, right? But dude, that first night, you can't breathe. You're sitting upright. You're laying down upright, trying to sleep, but you can't. Your back hurts. It hurts when you breathe. You feel it's like, oh, dude, I can't even
I'm trying
explain
not
it.
to laugh.
It's
I'm
just
like,
awful.
I'm laughing at misery.
Yeah, it's just awful, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
like the only kind of semi-decent thing was that it gave me an excuse, I guess, to just watch stuff that I've wanted to catch up on. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, it's just awful. You can't really do anything, man. Like,
So is it
you're
like, did it
bedridden.
feel like the flu then? Because I've had the flu.
It's like the flu, but if you can't, every time you would breathe, it hurt. Like you
Okay.
feel it in your lungs. It's fucking awful. I don't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, fuck, I hope I don't get it, but
Yeah, dude. And
it's like the worst thing I've had is strep throat. That was the worst
I've
thing
never
I had.
had that.
It was terrible. Like it's just
Stop throating random people then.
sometimes you just can't help it, man. If
I
Michael
know.
B. Jordan comes up to you, what are you gonna do? You're
Honestly,
submitting.
I can't even argue with that. That's very valid. It's like if Ryan Reynolds or Hugh
Yeah, it was
Jackman was
like-
like, I'm not gay,
Especially
but I
if they're
can't
in the
pass up on
suit.
that opportunity.
If they're in the suit.
I don't know if they're in the suit, dog. It might taste too rubbery up in there. Seal in the flavor, you know?
But anyways, like that's probably the worst thing that I had, and it was like your throat just feels like it's just like tight. Like it feels like you're breathing out of like like the tightest butthole of all time. Like it's just like
And you can't really eat, I'm assuming, right?
no,
Like
dude,
maybe just
I,
like
I was
liquids?
like strictly on a liquid diet.
Yeah.
And I was on it. I had it for like almost 2 weeks, and I had COVID. And COVID was, at least for me personally, was not bad at all.
The first time I had COVID, the only bad day was like the first day. Then after it felt like just a strong flu, in all honesty.
Because honestly, I felt worse after I had the shot when I hadn't gotten the fucking whatever, I forget what it's called now.
The vaccine?
Yeah, the vaccine. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's just you got the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
We've
And
all
I
had
felt worse
multiple
after
vaccines.
that. Like that day, I remember I felt like terrible. But then when I actually got COVID, like I was just like, I just felt like a common cold. Although I had it for longer than I thought I would. I had it for like 2 weeks, and I kept taking a test, and it would be like.
Well, like when it first came out, it would still pop up on your test, even though you didn't really feel like you had it anymore when you would do a test. So it just depends. We have a bunch of conservative people that are gonna come and be like, "See, you shouldn't," and like, yeah, okay. Whatever.
The fucking debates going on today. I forgot about that.
Dude, I went to Safeway today, and I heard some dude being like, "I wonder if we're gonna sell out on alcohol because the debates are tonight." And I just feel like
make a drinking game out of it.
Oh, that would have been the
That'd
move.
been fun, bro.
I would have been lost with whatever they were saying. Honestly, I'm just not caught up at all. But
I don't care, but
anytime Donald Trump would interrupt, you'd have to take a shot, and I feel like I would be so fucked up. And it's like the take a shot every time Vin Diesel says family in a Fast and Furious movie. We should do that. Oh,
wasted. We do not need another cat jumping on the computer.
dude, he jumped earlier and like grabbed the fucking tablecloth, and I was like,
dude, that's the worst.
chill. He's looking for he found his spot. He knows where he's gonna go now. But yeah, man, it's been hectic, and I know you've been really busy. It was our birthdays.
Yeah, our
obviously.
birthdays, went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I finally switched to days. I had to do a bunch of shit, moved things. Call of Duty beta came out, made a couple videos on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll link those in the description.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, I mean, I've been helping someone move. Like, it's just been like, I'm busy or he's busy and we just haven't been able to get the pod. Even though we've been talking about it, like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to get back
We need to
and
get
we have
back
these
on it.
things
Yep.
we want to talk about. I don't even remember. Did we talk about Alien? I don't even remember. I have a
You
dope-ass
you
shirt.
did
I
a
don't even
bit.
remember.
You did a bit, but I hadn't seen it at that time.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we could.
Just jogging my
I
memory.
really fucking liked it. It was a really fun experience I had in the movie theater. There's so many. I 100% agree that you were right. I know you see it.
I'm just like,
It's
his
gonna
cat's,
fall.
like climbing, and I'm like, it's just about to timber right now, but he's being super.
No.
And like these metal plates or whatever.
He's got it, dude. He's got it.
He's got it. He's chilling. It's just like I'm watching Mount Everest right now.
Unless he
Something's
knocks
about to-
those down, and then I.
He got it there.
Okay. He's
I
chill.
was just worried that it was gonna collapse on the
Onto
camera.
Yeah. He's pretty good
Oh,
at that.
anyways,
Yeah.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Alien.
Alien. It was
Alien.
great.
I-
Gave me a nightmare.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 9. I 8.5 out of 9 actually. I
I give it
really
the
enjoyed
same.
it. It was really fun. It felt like I'm gonna say this with our Beetlejuice review. It just felt like a throwback movie, and I had so much fun with it.
Mhm.
In terms of like, I felt like the anxiety. I felt like when they were going through that. Spoiler alert if you haven't fucking seen it. If you haven't seen it, that's your own fault. But you know when all the face huggers are around,
Mhm.
and they're like, okay, we can't if your anxiety spikes up or your adrenaline spikes up, they can see that, and that's when they will come at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
is.
agree.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, 'cause I
I
also
wouldn't
did-
survive that. I'm not surviving that.
Because I did like that they kind of highlighted the face huggers a bit more.
Yeah.
Because like it's always been like, oh, they sneak around and then boom, they're you got if it happened to get you, or if you just had quick enough reflex to grab it by the tail or whatever might have happened.
Mhm.
But in this one, it gave it more of like they do follow your body even, you know what I mean? Like there's just like a little bit more of like.
A danger to them that you
Yeah.
felt before. I agree.
And,
Because
and apparently part of that was because they were just coming out of cryo sleep, so they weren't at their full like agility to like hop on your face. That's because like if there's
that's terrifying.
yeah, exactly.
Actually.
Because like there was a part where he's like smacking them down and
Mhm.
like getting them out of the way and shit. So I did like how the cryo sleep kind of affected
Mhm.
them, and that wasn't them at their full form. But
Yeah.
by the time they figured out the like the workaround
Yeah.
essentially with the heat.
And face huggers in the water.
Yeah.
Nah, fam. Nah.
And
And then one of them gets throated.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, ask permission first.
Or when
But
they're
still,
actually
man.
pulling it off of the chick, and it just kept going.
Mhm.
It's like you think it's about to be done. It's like you're just like, ugh.
That glizzy went crazy.
Yeah, went crazy. I did feel like the kills were a bit safe, but other than that, overall, really enjoyed it.
Because like, I can't. That is probably why I can't even give it a 9. Is because there isn't a time where I'm like, that fucking kill was legendary.
Mhm.
Like the facehugger bit when that chick gets chest bursted, like that was cool. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen that. Like
Mhm.
I mean, the lead up was kind of cool with like the X-ray light that she put onto
Yeah.
her chest, and you can see it. That was really cool. But I mean, man, I felt tame. I thought we were gonna see like a
Well-
really creative acid blood kill, which I mean we kind of sort of did, but it wasn't what I expected. Because like
Yeah.
in the trailer, my thought was whoever's
In the zero
floating
gravity.
in the zero gravity, whoever's floating into the acid blood is gonna go through it and then just die. And I was really
Like they were
looking
gonna
forward to
just
that.
like get melted and like
yeah,
the
or
worst
like
way
they would keep
possible.
going and going and going, and that would have been an awesome kill. But
Yeah.
it felt really safe.
Mm-hmm.
And also the droid,
Yeah. Andy,
best character, Andy.
Yeah.
All the people
Him
that
and Rain were just a great combination. So that I didn't know like I would really like.
yeah, oh yeah,
You
and
know?
just I've never been so upset at like when a character gets picked on, but when Andy was getting picked
Yeah.
on, it fucking grinded my gears.
Yeah, I was
I'm
like-
not gonna lie.
Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
bro?
when he was getting jumped in the beginning, I was like, "Yo, fuck those
Someone
guys!"
save him.
Seriously.
Fuck.
And then
Like,
that fucking dickhead,
Yeah.
the British dude.
I wish he would have died in a. I
I
mean,
wish he
you
would.
were happy he died. I mean, at least
I
was.
was happy he died. I just wish he died better.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I agree.
I mean, but other than that, great movie, great throwback film. Um, yeah, dude, definitely.
And then you could to just bleed into Beetlejuice. It felt like that was a throwback film because we saw Beetlejuice recently. And
Beetlejuice.
yes, Beetlejuice.
You
Did he
said
pop up? No, we said it 3 times. Anyways, it was really good. We saw it and we didn't know. Never, we did not see it in IMAX, but we saw it in like these really cool fucking seats. I don't know why
we saw it at the Cinemark theaters. You know, like those really comfortable chairs. They have a really good surround sound. I'm trying to get him to understand that IMAX is essentially a really good surround sound system, but
it's also the visual and also the spacing of how everything is and the way that it's shot as well. Also, he was just real quick. He was shitting on IMAX before we went to go see Furiosa, and then afterwards, like, I understand. I was like, okay, there's times. It's not like we're gonna go see every movie in IMAX, but to see certain movies in IMAX, it elevates it. Especially someone like Christopher Nolan that shoots in that I forget what the fucking format is, but shoots in that format essentially.
Mhm.
You see it. Like it's so noticeable.
it's because he's like a modern director and knows how to shoot properly with like
No, but what
equipment
I'm
and
saying
stuff.
though is that if like all I'm trying to say is that when it comes to IMAX, to get the most out of it, to me it's about seeing the proper films there. Like,
I do
kinda
agree.
wish I would have saw Alien in IMAX. I think that would have been
That could have been really good in IMAX.
because also
actually.
the thing
the
is
sound.
with IMAX.
Oh, actually,
See,
I don't
here's
even want to hear it because the sound that some of the facehuggers make and like
But
I
see,
would
here-
like to hear like the bone crunching and the gore.
But see, here's the
though.
thing with IMAX, right? Is that when it comes to IMAX, you're also seeing it with essentially enthusiasts. You're getting that same crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I get that. I
like
do
it-
get that.
Because like if we,
Cinephiles.
yeah, if we go to like some other like a star like a fucking a Regal or
A
something.
regular Regal.
Yeah, you're like you never know who you're gonna get with. You might get people that
feel it.
just talk or people that just don't get the jokes. Like when I went to go see I'm going off a tangent. When I went to go see Deadpool for the second time, it was like I just watched Ryan Reynolds bomb for 2 hours. Like no one got anything. No one got the fucking jokes. That's one of the positives to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
You're seeing it with your crowd.
Or opening night.
Yeah. Or opening night. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like if you go to IMAX, even if it's like a week after, you're seeing it with an enthusiast. Someone that's like, I'm willing to pay the extra, what is it, 10, 15 bucks
Yeah.
to see it on the biggest screen possible.
It's like basically $30 per ticket.
yeah.
Basically.
Mhm.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Beetlejuice was a really good throwback film too though.
Yeah.
In like the vein of like I just had so much fun at just watching it and laughing my ass off and felt like we kind of almost went back in time a little bit because Alien was in theaters, you know, and then
Yeah.
Beetlejuice again. I don't know, man. It was a lot of fun.
Very
Although
Tim
they're
Burton.
like now that exactly, which is a great thing.
Yes.
But like now that I've had time away from it, even though I do want to rewatch it because I did have a lot of fun, I did notice there was a lot going on, and there was some plot threads where I'm like, you could have taken that out. You didn't really need it, you know, like Beetlejuice's wife. You could have taken that subplot out, and I don't think it would have impacted the film as much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still think it's like a killer intro for a character. It's just a
Mhm.
shame that I don't think she was used to her potential.
No, she basically just walked around sucking
Looking
people
hot.
off.
Sucking their souls out.
And then
I would have
proceeding to leave the screen, and then you're going back to whatever Beetlejuice is doing or the main characters are doing.
I've never been so jealous of Danny DeVito in my
Like,
entire
he was
life.
in the movie for like 30 seconds.
When I saw, sign me up. That's all I'm saying. I'm ready.
But I totally agree. You know, we went to go see it with a diehard fan, so I felt like I couldn't give any
Criticisms quite
of
yet.
it. I did give the movie. I would say it's an 8 out of 10. That's what I give it
Yeah.
an 8 out of 10.
I'll give it
Mainly because it's like I said, very Tim Burton. He's stuck to his guns essentially.
Mhm.
Like if you watch any type of Tim Burton movie, you're gonna be like if you didn't know, like if you just saw a clip, right? You're gonna be like, oh, Tim Burton did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you just there's just like that. I don't even know animatronic type, sets that he does, and very Tim Burton essentially.
And like the practical sets, the practical effects, I loved so much.
Yeah, and like if it's like an alien or like a monster type, they're always like in
Mhm.
like 30 frames per second, type of like
Yeah.
hitchy type movement.
The creative costumes that they had for the characters that were dead, I loved a lot. Which
Mhm.
throwback to the first film again. I really liked. I don't. I should we just go into spoilers at this point?
Yeah,
I
just
don't
go
think it
into
matters.
I don't think it
But
matters.
when like Jenna Ortega saw her dad again,
Hmm.
and the piranhas were sticking out of him, I thought that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
you
I
just
loved
keep
that.
the way that you died essentially. Like if you got, like
Yeah.
the dude that got his head bit off, like his head's just bit off.
Yeah.
Like you're just living the rest of
Yeah.
your or your underworld life like that.
Yeah. I love that because it's like whimsical but also grotesque, but it has heart to it,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. And like Beetlejuice could easily go into this territory where it's like too much. Does that make sense? Or it could
Yeah.
be too gory, like hard R. But I like this fine line of like, this is a little grotesque, but it's whimsical and it's got really cool practical effects. Like I just had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with it. And
Um.
that's what I wanted at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
feel like
I
when
agree.
I got what I wanted in terms of a legacy sequel, I think it does really good. I think that there have been way worse. I think it probably would have to be top 5 best legacy sequels in my opinion. But to be fair, that's a very low. Like that's not a high
Low
bar.
bar. Yeah.
That's not a high. Yeah.
I
So
do
like,
think I mean, I'd have to rewatch it, but just off the top of my head, I think the first one is better than the
I
second one.
rewatched it and I actually do agree.
Because also just to go on the note with the like he was saying with the bride or his ex-wife, I guess, uh the other character that gets outed to be the villain, both of their like deaths essentially are very like what's the word? Like they just it just kind of happens out of nowhere,
It
like a
was.
little bit of an ex machina moment. That's what
God,
it feels like.
I why can't I think of the fucking word? It's like I can't
I'm
even
pretty
speak
sure it's ex
English.
machina. That's what it's called.
That's a movie.
No, it is a movie, but I think it's also a term that when the heroes just kind of get saved like out of the blue, like by just because the script wanted it to be that way essentially. Because the writers wrote it that
Well,
way.
I did feel like their deaths were very anticlimactic.
Yeah, anticlimactic like
That's the word
it
I
just
would mainly use for
it
sure.
just kind of boop, there it is. They just
Yeah,
died. There's no
there
like
was like no big confrontation with
yeah.
Beetlejuice's ex or anything like that.
They both basically essentially fall into a hole. Both of them basically fall into a hole.
Yeah,
And then you're like, all right, that's it.
that's it, I guess. I mean, I guess they could do. I actually would like to see a third one. I think if they do a third one right, they can make all these plot threads that were in the second one work in the third one. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or make I don't know, but I do agree. I think the first one is better, just because it had a certain feel to it. But also Winona Ryder, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I agree.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, this is where my goth fetish comes from, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And she was so funny in it too.
Yeah, she
In the
was.
beginning, when she's like, everything's going crazy, and she's like, I feel a presence. Like that bit had me dying, dude. It was a fun time. I
yeah,
definitely
it was a
recommend
fun
it.
movie, very Tim Burton.
Yeah.
But my only real critique, like I said, is just when it comes to the villains or like they just get dealt with in just the most anticlimactic way, essentially.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
I feel like because essentially Beetlejuice is also one of them because his is also a little anticlimactic. It's like, oh, out of the contract, you voided it by doing this, and he's just like, he just goes back to the world.
but it's also like, dog, aren't you supposed to be like this demon who like knows how to cut corners and shit, and you kind of just got bested
Yeah,
very easily.
Yeah,
Like there
very
was no
easily.
pushback. He was just like, "Oh, that's right," and then boom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like again, I still had a lot of fun, but I can still critique it from like a story angle.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Hmm.
In all honesty, so you know,
I agree.
yeah. So you rated it 8 out of 10?
I give it 8 out of 10. Like I said, very Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was just good fun. It's really what it was.
I agree, and I think it's like a really good date night movie you could do. In
Mhm.
all honesty, but that gets me really excited and kind of get into the spooky season again because
Yeah.
that's kind of what I did. Even though I should have watched the original Beetlejuice before I went to go see Beetlejuice, but in my defense, I was just lazy. And also, I just had so many other things that I wanted to catch up on. He wanted me. I haven't finished it. I'm sorry. He wanted me to finish the Terminator
I knew
anime.
you didn't finish it.
I didn't
And
finish
you got like
it.
an extra 2 days.
I did.
Oh, I can't even fully go into it.
I know.
But okay, but eventually
we'll go from the only thing I will say. Don't spoil it. We can talk about it once I'm done. I'm so fucking upset that this was an anime, when this would have been an amazing live action story. From what I've gathered so far, I'm just like, what's so fucking difficult to do that in live action? I'm 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm like, this is better than any of the live action Terminator movies that have came out within the last 8 years.
Yeah, personally, I do like Salvation, but
Oh no, I like
I understand
Salvation.
why
I like
people don't.
Salvation. Me too. But
Um,
like, I got really offended because my Prime was like, "Hey, we think you'll like Terminator Genesis," and I'm like, "I fucking won't."
yeah, I didn't even. I don't think I even. I definitely didn't see him in theaters, but Genesis and I wasn't it Future Fate or Dark Fate or what?
Dark Fate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not watch either one of those. I think I saw clips of it, and I think I did watch Genesis a little bit, but then I just turned it off because I was bored.
Yeah,
Like if that,
dude.
here's the thing, I love Terminator. I have the whole collection on Blu-ray. I love it. I grew up watching it. When it came to like after what was it, Terminator Salvation?
Mhm.
After that, the Terminators were just. I mean, even a little bit in Terminator Salvation, I should say. But it is also they kind of justify with being like the early days of the like the models that they're using. Because there's one of my big gripes with Salvation is that like I was always like as a kid I was like, why are they using regular guns like to take down Terminators?
Mhm.
And like in every other one, it's always been like they need to be squished, they need to be burned, melted down. But I understand it a little bit. They should have just did a little bit more building
Mhm.
on why the models are the way that they were at that time. But
Mhm.
anyways, to get to Terminator Zero, in the very first episode, this motherfucker is walking in with 250 cal snipers, hip firing, hitting people on shot.
Yeah.
That perfectly captures why the Terminator is so deadly.
Yeah.
Like this dude's not just randomly shooting a machine gun.
Mhm.
50 cal snipers that fucking have to be accurate. He's hip firing that.
Yeah.
That's fucking
I
terrifying.
mean, and even if he was carrying like a 50 cal machine gun, that would still be
50,
just
he
as
can't do a
terrifying.
50 cal machine gun, but okay. He doesn't know anything about guns. A
Are
50
they
cal,
not?
50 cal is the caliber of
That's them big ass bullets, isn't it?
yeah, the big
The
ass.
ones
But
that like
like a
even if
50
they
cal
come by you,
sniper is like the fucking
don't
gigantic.
they have those on top of like drumbees in like the military?
No, what I'm saying is though is like the accuracy that you have to have with the
That I
sniper.
understand.
Okay,
because
that's
the
all I'm
kickback
trying to
and
say.
everything. Yes.
Yeah, because it's like you're a
So
single
you're telling
shot.
me there's no 50 cal machine gun?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying
That's
to
all I
emphasize.
was saying. Thank
Okay,
you.
the only thing I was trying to emphasize is like the accuracy that you need with
Yeah.
the sniper is
With
like
just one
you get
each
one
hand.
shot
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
versus a machine gun. You're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was brutal. And I love how bloody it is. So I think you would have like 2 episodes left. You could have watched 2 more episodes.
Dude, I got really into the show on Netflix and I got really upset. It was only one season, so I have to. You know, when you get into a show, you look up when's the next season coming out, and they're just like, "Oh, they canceled it." I'm just like,
Oh,
"Yeah, dude." I started watching, The Brother's Son on Netflix. It's
heard of it.
this. It's so fucking good. Oh my god, dude. It's this. It's like it involves like the triads and like part of like a family that's been in hiding, and it's
Mhm.
just, oh man, I recommend it. It sucks, man. Has Michelle Yeoh, she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh,
She
okay.
plays the mother. She kind of like helped build that triad, and now they kind of.
When did this show come out? Come out?
So this came out, I think, earlier this year.
And it's already canceled.
Yeah. Fucking
So is it like a Netflix original then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so good too, though. And they introduced this guy, this new actor. I wish I knew what his name was, but he's one of the main characters. He plays like the big brother, the one that was raised by the triads to being like an assassin and shit. He's like my favorite character. He's so complex, and I'm like, wherever this dude is, I'm watching now. You know, when you just become a fan of someone.
Yeah.
So I did that. I watched that, and then I rewatched Beetlejuice because it's spooky season, and then I watched the new Hellraiser, the most recent one that came out
Oh.
on Hulu, and that was pretty good. Except like I just don't like CGI of like CGI gore can sometimes look so fake, and I miss the practical effects. You know, where
agree.
like just certain shit, but it is what it is. So I'm really feeling the spooky season. I'm trying to like see what other movies I want to watch that fit the tone. You know,
Yeah.
like what are your favorite spooky movies?
I mean, when excuse me. When it comes to spooky season, it's always Halloween. Michael Myers is just my guy. You know, I fucking grew up watching as a kid.
Hmm.
Shouldn't have been growing up watching as a kid.
No, but it's
I
fine.
mean, I rewatched the first movie so many times, and even though it gave me nightmares, I would still rewatch it.
Dude, yeah, man, it's like how we were talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, had such a hold on me and like as a kid. Like you said, I shouldn't have been watching that, but I did. And but so much of that movie sticks out in my head because I'm just like I can't stop watching, but I'm scared,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
And man, that's another one I want to
because
rewatch
like
again,
the
honestly.
I remember as a kid, like Halloween always scared me more. Besides the fact that he's immortal, it always scared me more because I was like, someone could do that. It's like someone could just do that.
Yeah, I think that's what made that first Halloween film so terrifying because you're just there. You don't. There's no motive.
Hmm.
There's no like in the Rob Zombie movies. He's like, oh, he's like you could clearly understand that that little kid in the Rob Zombie movies grew up to be a fucked up human being.
Hmm.
But in like what makes the John Carpenter movie so special is like it just seems like some fucking kid snapped for no reason, and it's just no cue, nothing,
Yeah,
and
it's
just
just pure
yeah,
evil.
that just makes it even more terrifying. And
Yeah.
there's no soul, there's no like, it's just no emotion.
Hmm.
Where like the Rob Zombie movies, you can kind of just you hear him, even though like he's terrifying, you hear him grunt or you hear certain things, and it just I don't know, it takes me out of it a little bit.
I never saw because there was two, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I never saw the second one. I only saw the first one.
the second one is very Rob Zombie.
Mm.
It's I don't even know what the fuck's going on in that movie sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of the editing and stuff, and like Rob Zombie falls into the same category of directors where he's like, "Hey, I have a hot wife. Let me show you," and I respect it. I do, but also it's like, did she need to be in there? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I do want to rewatch them just to like compare those to like the John Carpenter ones,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got a lot of spooky movies I want to get to be honest. Like I said,
I'm trying to I'm what I'm getting more into for getting into spooky season is Silent Hill. The new game is coming out, the remaster, or the remake, I
yeah,
should
the
say.
remake. I was like, don't say
Oh,
new game because I'm gonna get confused.
well, it's the remake. It is a new game. I mean, on PS5.
A remake doesn't mean it's new, Richard.
It is new. Are you stupid? You are stupid.
So yeah, I am, but that doesn't. No, 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 no. You're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
It's a remake.
This game has been released before. It is just being updated.
No, that's a remaster. A remake means that there's new sections, new potential endings, new sections of the level.
Oh, see, you didn't explain
That's
that
what
at
I just said.
all.
It's a remake. You're like, "Ugh, actually, bud. Like, no, that's a remaster. A remaster. I gotta school them a little bit. When it
Wow.
comes to games, and if something gets remastered, it's literally just upgrading the
The
fidelity of the game,
right.
the FPS,
Okay.
maybe fixing some minor glitches that might have
Like the
happened.
Uncharted
That's,
games onto the PlayStation
yes,
4.
that's a remaster.
Okay, so
Well,
my
that's
bad.
more of
I
a
got confused.
That's actually more of a port. Actually, there's a port is more just carrying it over to a new system
Mhm.
and matching it to the FPS and not really changing anything.
Fucking nerd. Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Although if I just start shitting on Batman vs Superman, he's gonna internalize his inner nerd and it's gonna manifest in the fucking end of the world. Anyways,
It really will.
it's a remake, and I'm getting excited. I'm very excited.
That sounds
for it.
cool, actually. I didn't know that that was a whole concept at all in video games because I still have so many on my catalog that I need to finish too.
But yeah.
But that actually sounds really dope. I didn't know it was like adding new sections to the game and
Yeah,
like
there's
doing
apparently
certain
going to be
things.
because if you didn't, for you guys that don't know, maybe for Silent Hill games, there's always been like at least 5 endings.
That's awesome.
So
I love that.
it's one of those,
actually.
and it's always it can be like something minute. Like if you didn't pick up this certain picture or something like that, you're gonna not ever get that ending potentially.
Jesus.
I mean, it's Kojimi. That's like the Japanese studio that makes them or whatever. I think they're just a partner in it. I don't think they're fully doing it. But anyways, like it can be very minute. Like if you don't pick up a certain picture frame, you're not getting this particular ending.
Or like some certain something, right?
Yeah,
okay,
like,
I get it.
Well, like also
like
it's
if you
'cause
go,
there's
like, during-
dialogue
Okay.
choices as well. So like if you talk to somebody, or maybe you didn't talk to somebody at a certain point,
Oh.
it's like you just get a different route, and to me it can add replayability because like
That's
right,
true.
if you play it Uncharted, right, you play it all the way through, you got your fix. You've got the ending, it's a good ending, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
There's not a reason to essentially to go back unless you're just like I
Unless
don't
it's been
know.
a while and you haven't played the
Yeah,
game.
like
And
I
you
just recently replayed the first Uncharted because I hadn't played it in a while, and I was like, oh, it's fun. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's like one of those things. Versus when it's like Silent Hill, you're just getting multiple endings, so it's like a bunch of different ways to play it. But apparently, there's gonna be like two extra endings on top of the five that there is, so there's gonna be like seven.
God damn. Okay, that sounds
Yeah,
cool.
on top of
Yeah.
like new sections, new enemies, and whatnot, and like
Are you
fighting in different ways.
are you gonna make a video for those?
Oh fuck yeah!
Nice.
Because I actually one thing that was really cool because like a lot of people were skeptical of it because it's like a very beloved game. Like if you tried to buy Resident Evil, Silent Hill 2. I love Resident Evil, but Silent Hill 2,
Hmm.
it's like $300. Yeah, like if you want
Oh,
to,
it's like one of those games
it's
that's like
so
now
rare. It's like
rare.
beloved now and
Gotcha.
everything like that. If you want to play it, like, cause like even to this day, if you wanted to play Silent Hill 2, you have to play it on the original hardware in order for it to be like good. Because like even if you try to play like a port that was like to PC, you have to download a bunch of extra files to even get it to run properly. Like you have to do a bunch. And like
Yeah.
I do have the HD collection on the PS3, but
Mhm.
even then it's like buggy. They just did it in a super terrible manner because
Mm.
it just didn't match the hardware to that time. But anyways, I'm very excited for it because like people were very skeptical of the game coming out, like with the gameplay, like how's this gonna feel, like what are you gonna do? Because like the last remaster was just trash, and they released like 20-minute gameplay of just going
Looks
through the
good?
world, and it looks awesome, bro.
Dude,
It
that's
looks
awesome.
fucking awesome. It looks genuinely creepy.
Yeah, I've seen some like gameplay of some of the Silent Hill games. I think it's the second one you sent me one time, right? So yeah, a lot. That's
Because
that's a
he'll
horror
fiddle around with
franchise.
scripts, and I was like, bro, psychologically, you should watch this.
Well,
'Cause
I
this is
I also
awesome.
just love stories in general.
Yeah.
So anytime he's like, "Yo, I think you'd really dig this story," I'll always kind of check it out because he's pretty spot on when it comes to
Because like
things.
Silent Hill, when it comes to any of those games, because they're all pretty much rare, like all of them are rare, because
Yeah.
it's just like at the time it was just very niche. Like up until like PT came out, it was very niche in my opinion.
PT.
I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've ever made him play it. So essentially, PT. I'm gonna write this down because PT is fucking amazing. PT is essentially like this. Uh, it had the Daryl from The Walking Dead. He was the star in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
and
sounds
so
familiar.
essentially the demo was you going down the endless hallway, and you go through a door, you come back around, and like the hallways change slightly. Now the lights flickering, and now the radio's on, the phone's going off, and you can hear these minute details each time you go back around
Mhm.
through this haunted house, and it's fucking terrifying. One of our old friends, I made him play it, and it was fucking hilarious because I knew it was gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I'm just watching. He was always like fucking terrified of like he would just get scared easily, right? Especially playing like a game. And even
Is
though
this
I
what-
knew what was happening,
is this what-
it still scared the shit out of me as well.
Is this what I'm thinking of?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's so funny.
It was fucking hilarious, and it's that scary of a game, and it was just a fucking demo, and it still scared the shit out of me, even though I knew what was about to happen.
So do you think that one of the biggest fumbles of all time is in Normie Reedus starring game in Silent Hill, directed and created by Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah, it did not come
Is that what that was?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
Well, this I would have to rewatch the
Mhm.
like just dude. There's like a full. I'll send you the video. There's like a
Yeah.
full retrospective of like what this game means essentially because this came out like when we were in high school, like 2013. Someone.
Yeah, I remember
And you
that.
can't even download unless you have like PT on like your PS4 just saved or whatever. Like for me, unfortunately, I deleted mine long ago because I was like, it's a demo. I was like, oh, you don't need
It's
to keep.
gonna come out eventually.
Yeah, and it just never happened. And now if you have that
Damn.
on your PC or your PS4, it's like worth like $600. Yeah, it's ridiculous actually. But it is what it is. I got to experience it. It's definitely one of those things you should check out. Like people have done great videos on it, like for a retrospective. It's so good.
Mhm.
I think it's an absolute shame that game never got released. But
Damn,
I'll
dude.
send it. Remind me to send it to you because it's actually a really good fucking video.
I mean, yeah, dude, that's sick. Honestly, I think they should come out with more horror games that are fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie game. Like I think there's concepts there that could work. A la Silent Hill, right? but also just other things like being in the dream world.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to rewatch Nightmare on Elm Street. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, dude,
Well, because
I've been
like you
having a
said,
hankering, dude.
like you said, Silent Hill is very much like a dream world because like
Mhm.
people will talk to you and you're like, it's just odd. You're like, why are you saying it like that?
Mhm.
And like, what's happening? Because like, and the thing with the dream, right, is you're always thrown into the middle of it, and the
Oh my
most
God,
exciting
bro.
part, whatever's happening, is like right now, right here, then, and your adrenaline's spiked, right?
Yeah.
That's very much how Silent Hill is. Anytime you meet a
Dude.
character, you're always just thrusted, and you're like, what the fuck? It's very like disorienting.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
the
my
best
dreams
way.
lately have been fucking vivid too. Like, remember that one dream I told you about? I had a dream that all men were created equal. I'm just kidding. I'm not Martin Luther King. No. In all seriousness, I like because if you when you don't smoke and you're detoxing, your REM sleep is usually kind of hurt by when you smoke, and I never smoked as much anymore anyway. But my dreams were becoming really vivid. I remember I even called his fiance because I was freaking out because like it felt so real. I was in a dream where like I'm just placed into another world that's exactly like mine, except I have nothing here of like my current life. Like I didn't have my family, I didn't know him. I had like basically no one. There's a friend that had unfortunately passed away, and he was alive. Like it was so scary and so vivid. Like I even shook him. I'm like, dude, you're dead, and he's like, you're crazy. Like it felt so real. A part of me's like, I fucking went to another timeline briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like it was just so scary.
Yeah, I think you're the reason why I had a nightmare recently, actually.
What the
Because it
fuck?
was
What'd I
very
do?
similar.
What'd I
It was
do?
actually very eerily similar. So, like, in my dream, it was like, right as I laid down, my bed had, like, flipped. Like, it was like a secret door. And I was like,
That's scary, actually.
It's like in like the upside down kind of, but like it being our world, like how we see it, but everything's just slightly different. Like where my bed is now on the right side of the room instead of the left side, and like, like it was just odd and very weird, and like I had a different car, and like my house looked different, but it felt familiar. It was just such a weird dream,
Yeah,
and I
dude.
was like, I don't know, it was so
Were you
weird.
being chased by something?
I was not being chased, but everything was like in like a. Have you ever watched like a video or not like a video, but you're like fast forwarding, and it goes in like a 2.5 speed?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Everything was like, and I was like moving through and talking to people, and it was just like disorienting. And like for both my loved ones, instead of me being with like having my grandpa that had passed, my grandma had passed, and like it was just my grandpa now. It was such a weird
That's
dream.
crazy.
It
Dude.
was so weird.
It's
Bro.
so funny how you can remember these certain details in that dream because I know in mine, like our school colors are like blue and gray, right? And the school colors that we went to in my dream in this alternate timeline were gray and red.
Mm.
The field was painted red, and I just remember like walking out of the gas station that's right down the street from by the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That 76. I just remember walking out of there, and it's bigger for some odd reason, just being like, I'm never gonna get home. And that was like a feeling that was just terrifying. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like I'm stuck here. This is my new life. This sucks.
Yeah,
And
dude,
then,
we were fucking dream walking, bro.
dude, and I honestly, everything I did in that dream, Richard, I like did, if that makes sense. I had control,
Yeah.
which made it even more terrifying because I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude,
Terrifying.
yeah, I'm not surviving. I'm not surviving Nightmare on Elm Street. That's all I'm saying, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, man. Fucking crazy. In other news, though, want to know what is crazy? UFC Noche and Canelo Alvarez going head to head.
Yeah.
We have thoughts on it. I'll just go first. I think UFC Noche.
Mid.
Yeah.
So mid.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. I think its production value is probably going to be really fucking great. I think that the things that Dana White probably has planned for this sphere is going to be fucking probably killer in all honesty. But the card is the only thing that's lacking. I feel no interest wanting to buy this card. I like Sean O'Malley, but Sean O'Malley versus Marab shouldn't be the fucking main event. I'm sorry.
It would be a sick fight night. This would be a sick fight night.
Look, man, if anything, I like Sean, but if he's gonna be headlining his own card,
It needs to be stacked.
it needs to be stacked. Like when DP was on there,
Like
that card was stacked.
Yes, that card.
That
was
is
stacked.
why
What
we're
was
like
that?
we're
Was that
gonna go
UFC
watch that.
299 or was that UFC 298?
I want to
I think it was
299. 299 because 298 was when Alien knocked out Volk.
So it was 299.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like you gotta have one more fight on there, bro.
Yeah,
Like you
dude.
just have to. Like there was guys. Like I don't doubt there was. Dude, the very next card, the one that's for Abu Dhabi, is fucking stacked to the gills.
That I want to.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
thing's just loaded.
Yeah.
You couldn't just pick one. See, here's the thing though. I've been watching a lot of MMA Guru. So, hey, dude,
Here he goes. No. Hold on. No.
2 cents because he's gonna be like, you never liked MMA. No, my thing was always like, hey.
He's like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He watches one video.
It wasn't not even that. Well, it wasn't that. Hold on. You're just slandering real quick.
Yeah.
I always just watched like the clips, like
Well
the,
deserved.
I would always just watch like his reactions, like when he not watched like Tony Ferguson knocked out. Like I'd watch those, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to watch his content. Is all it was really. And he's just like, you don't like him. I'm like, no, I was just like, I had no real interest. But then when I saw him with DP, I was like, oh, this dude's jacked. I'll watch him. I was like, what the fuck?
DDP.
Huh?
DDP.
Yeah, DDP, whatever.
You said DP. That's Dustin Poirier.
Dracus Duplessis. Are you happy now?
Yes, I am.
You fucking cunt.
I'm just saying. Get it
But
right.
anyways, I do agree with him where he's like, he's just like a fucking, he'll do anything for that Abu Dhabi money, essentially. Like, why are you stacking a random Abu Dhabi card? That stacked. It's so fucking stacked.
Okay, but this also goes back because it's not just UFC Noche, it's Rida season because it's the same gent that's putting on that made Usyk versus Fury, and this is just screams pettiness from that guy. I forget what his name is. Turkey a la something. I'm sorry. I genuinely don't remember his name. I just know that he's putting a lot of money into combat sports. But what I don't like is that he is, yeah, the money is making these events happen, but he is making it like he's the sole savior. That's not how this fucking thing works. If you want to help combat sports, you need to realize that it's a team effort, right? And this just screams him being mad at Canelo because Canelo wouldn't make a deal with him. Canelo literally told this guy, "I will come and talk to you, but I have a fight. I don't see anything after the fight." What happens? He puts UFC on Noche the same day as the Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just screams spite because your feelings were hurt. In all honesty, if you look more into this, you're just like, all right, bro, this just screams insecurity to me, in all honesty. And also, if you're gonna go against Canelo, at least stack the fucking card, bro, because how is the Canelo card more stacked than the UFC card? I want to watch the Canelo fight more. And in all honesty, this was a fight that a lot of people were, even myself, was somewhat critical, but I'll give them their props, dude. They're promoting the fuck out of it better, in my opinion, than UFC Noche. I haven't seen anything, dude. And I've watched all the press conferences and the face-off for the Canelo versus Berlanga. I haven't seen shit for UFC Noche.
I mean, embedded.
Countdown. But like,
but that's what I'm saying. Normal stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen like a sick ass cold open trailer yet.
It's like they know that they're not going to get their money.
Well, I mean,
back.
you can see with the tickets, like they've fucking dropped that shit like crazy, and it just doesn't. It's just not a stacked enough card, and it really just feels like I don't know. The UFC's just going there to go there, essentially. Like I don't know, and like it's essentially because like what he said it was like 17 million or whatever it was 20 million to put on the event. It just feels like the UFC's just going there to be like we're going there because we're we're being the first, essentially. We're the next breed or whatever. And it's just like, bro, if you're going there to spite sacrificing the card, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
Is it even worth it at that point? Like, it's just,
but
I don't know.
A part of me does think that if Dana had the choice, I don't think he would have chosen this card or that date. I don't know why. I just feel like he wouldn't. At least he wouldn't go against Canelo a little more if the card was a bit more stacked.
I don't think that. I think he is doing it. I just think that he probably fucking I don't know. I think he's just like relying too much on the UFC name because he's gone against Canelo. This isn't the first time he's gone against Canelo.
No, you're not wrong.
You know what I mean?
The BMF title went up against
exactly, and Canelo had to wait.
Yeah,
and that was. But dude, you can't tell me that wasn't ego shattering to Canelo, the promoter.
But was that card not stacked?
It was stacked. But exactly, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Is that's why I feel like now with UFC Noche, he's like
the tables have turned.
He's like, I think he's more like it's UFC. We're gonna do well, and I feel like he thinks Sean O'Malley's a bigger star than he actually is.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
Because I feel like they saw the UFC 299 numbers and like, oh, that's because the main event, bro.
Yeah,
that's the main event. Not necessarily taking into account that DDP's on there. I forget who. I forget who else was on there, but it was just a stack. I remember it being stacked.
It was a stacked card,
and I was like, we gotta watch this. And I feel like they're not taking that into account. They're just like, oh, it's Sean O'Malley. The only other thing I could say is they're like really testing to see how big Sean is. That's the only other thing I can see.
Dude, that's gonna be
I don't think that works for them. Exactly.
That's gonna be money lost, man.
And I also don't think it's the right idea to put it in the sphere.
Yeah,
especially on something that's 20 millions in the hole. They're definitely going negative. There's just no way they're not going.
And
negative.
no, I don't know, dude. I just feel like people are buying more into the press conferences and stuff for the Canelo fight. Like I see nobody that excited.
That's another thing too. Is it just me or the press conferences for the UFC gone shorter and shorter and shorter? They don't even have the UFC fans go and talk to them anymore.
No.
I remember when Conor was fucking in his heyday, they would every chance they would get, they're like, hey, any fans want to hop on and talk shit? You know what I mean? Like that was a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like Dana's like, I need to go take a nap, and it can't be any longer than an hour.
Well, I mean, Dana just might be scared. He doesn't want to hear any more John Jones questions, to be honest.
I mean, he's been antagonizing even more.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that fucking promo? He just randomly is like, the goat.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I did see that.
Dude?
I did see that.
Just so random. But we don't have a UFC Noche fucking promo. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Actually, you're fucking right there, dude.
But that's what I feel like is my big takeaway is I feel like, one, they think Sean O'Malley's the bigger name than he is, and they're relying on the UFC brand.
That could, yeah, dude. And lately, I just feel like their cards have been like not good.
Yeah,
I haven't been wanting to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, and that just goes to show, like, I'm not gonna spend fucking $90 essentially for a fucking mid card. I'm sorry,
beyond mid.
I
mean, this is probably the most mid card in recent
memory. For what it was hyped up to be is the thing.
Because at least the Adesanya versus DDP, like, that was a bit of a grudge match.
There's a couple fights on there that I maybe would have considered to like buy it, but
what I'm saying is that it also wasn't just like a stacked card to the gills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But this fucking Abu Dhabi card is gonna be stacked for just
that. I want to see
that one. We're gonna watch.
That's gonna be fire, dude.
I don't know. It's whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and also just going back to like the next thing I want to talk about, the UFC Noche and the Canelo fight, is just Oscar De La Hoya coming out, putting his 2 cents in when he's like not even fucking included in any of this is really annoying to me.
Yeah,
it's been bugging me. Also because he had the audacity to say that Canelo versus Berlanga is a fight no one asked for. It's another snooze fest. Motherfucker, didn't he fight one of your fighters earlier in the year? Are you really gonna say that? Like, you just sound like the fucking ex-girlfriend that just can't let it go, bro.
Yeah.
And like,
I never like Oscars. So.
This is my gripe with anybody in the combat sports. This is one of my biggest problems with probably David Benavidez. It's not that big. It's just that I don't feel like you need to make a career with someone's fucking name in your mouth. Mm-hmm. That's like not being able to take their balls out of your mouth. Like, you just want to keep them in there. And Oscar's worse at that, honestly. He just won't shut the fuck up. And and it's like, dude, you lost your golden goose. Fucking deal with it. Mm-hmm. Literally, there's an interview that just came out with Marquez talking about how he'll never work with Oscar because Oscar was stealing money from him. So if you're stealing money from Marquez, you're golden goose. Dog, you're the worst of them all because you were a fighter. Mm-hmm. And you're fucking scamming your own... What are you doing, bro? Not only that, he just admitted to getting ab surgery. I'm sorry, but that's like the fucking dumbest shit ever, bro.
Yeah, so dumb.
That video,
so cringe.
That video he put out, I feel like he like put his cap back, thought he was younger than he really was. took a fat ass line from like here to the end of the table and was like, people are gonna like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, man.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, you're just an old man that doesn't realize that his fucking time is well past. And even Dana came out was like, oh, he's just saying that to spite Canelo.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know where he's getting tickets from, but it's not from me. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's just Oscar keeps pissing me off.
Yeah, he's pissing me. He's never not pissed me off. So
Yeah, I mean, I have Fernando Vargas, Oscar De La Hoya ticket on my wall because who Oscar was in the ring is not who he is today as a person. In the ring, he was something special. I won't lie to you. The heart-wrenching story of his mother and him making a promise and going to go get gold in honor of her, that's fucking beautiful. But after that, Oscar has not done anything good for the sport of boxing other than fucking nothing, actually, in all honesty. At this point, dude, just grab the biggest bag of Coke you have, go to Mexico, and then just fucking go get lost,
just fuck
bro.
off. Yeah.
Honestly. That's all I had. That was my rant of the day, honestly.
There's the rant. Oscar sucks.
Oscar.
I will say that I'm happy that Shannon Sharp stood on business. He's like, hey, bro, if you ask anyone in this room, they'll be in the dress. He's like, nah, Oscar.
No, dude. If you
He's
ask
like,
any
nah.
man in that room, they'd be
I
like,
love that he just stayed on business.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm
not
sure.
gonna
Look,
just submit
I'm
to you 'cause
sure
you're my
some
guest.
guys in that room would have been like, "Yeah, I'm into some kinky shit," and we're not here to king shame, but like, just own those fishnets, Oscar.
Yeah,
Wear
just
them
own
out
it,
in
bro.
public.
Own it.
If you're that
Oh,
if you're
shit.
that proud,
Oh, God.
go to UFC Noche with those fishnets on, okay, and some shorts,
That'd be hilarious.
and then just show that stand on business. If you do that, I will respect you 1,000% more. Absolutely.
All right, you guys. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. To the infamous idiots. We're gonna start doing timestamps. So I've been writing it down. Be chilling.
Yeah.
We're gonna be getting back on our schedule.
Yeah, we are back from our hiatus. We're gonna be posting 3 clips a week. 3 clips, right?
Yeah, three
Yeah,
clips.
3 clips a week.
Maybe more if
Yeah.
we're feeling spicy and spontaneous.
I mean, we have a couple stuff we need to clip up anyway
Yeah.
to put out there just so you guys could see stuff that you guys would probably enjoy. Do you have anything else you have?
I want to say just thanks to anyone that subscribed when we weren't fucking live. I know we hit the 20 subscriber mark, so let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Anyways, check out all my links for all of my videos that I put out recently for like the Black Ops trailer and whatnot. All those things are down in the description.
And subscribe.
Anyways, if you guys are new here, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.
I was gonna say subscribe to my OnlyFans.
All right, that's something.